Hi guys, my name is Breyonna, and for today's look I did a kind of cool toned inspired look, and honestly I did it mostly featuring this Abracadabra shade from Beauty Bar Baby. This one really caught my eye on Instagram. I've never purchased from them before and I really wanted to use this look. I think it's a 3 or 4 shift duochrome pigment, so it has like more of like a black base with a purple, green, and blue reflect to it. It is super interesting and unique. As you can see, it is so cool. I had to use it because I really wanted to try it after I received it. And honestly, you know what, I bought this with my own money, and you know what, their stuff is very reasonably priced. This was a little bit more than I normally would pay for a pot of eyeshadow. I think it was like $8.50 or $8.25. But being that it is a unique shadow, I don't mind paying that much. And honestly, these loose pigments, I will never go through all of mine that I have. So I really like the size of the jar as well. If you'd like to see how I did this look, just stay tuned on watching. First, I'm going to take the Too Faced Shadow Insurance eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to coat the eyelid and then kind of bring it up to the brow bone and then underneath the eye as well. Next, using the Paaarty Smokey palette, I'm going to go into Natural right here. And using my Paaarty E31 brush, I'm just going to set my primer lightly. I literally just hit pan on it. That sucks. Next, using the same brush, I'm going to go into Frostine by Sugarpill. I'm just going to lightly put this purple into the crease as a transitional shade. Next, going back in with the same Paaarty Smokey palette, I'm going to take PDA right here. And on a Sigma E35 blending brush, I'm just going to start pretty much putting this into my crease and really smoking it out. If my voice sounds a little bit different than normal, I'm honestly kind of sick, kind of not. I'm like in that weird in-between stage where I was getting sick and then I started taking medication, but I still kind of have the symptoms of it, which absolutely sucks because I never got sick for years, and then like this year I've gotten sick now twice, which really honestly sucks. I used to work in retail, and I used to also do like pharmacy stuff and whatnot here and there, and I never really got sick because I was so used to touching like dirty money, dirty things. Because if you work retail, you know just as much as I do, everything like in their back rooms are not clean. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's just like a messy, dusty type of deal a lot of times, and it's gross. And honestly, I just never got sick. And plus, people are really nasty with money. Like, it's gross how people do things with money. So I just never got sick because they're kind of like germy and whatnot. And now, I don't know why, I think it's just because I'm really stressed out lately and I'm super busy, that my body's like, yeah, you're gonna get sick now, which is not fun. But it is what it is, and I try my best to make it so I don't get sick. But yeah, if I sound kind of funny or like nasally, I'm getting like fluid in my lungs a little bit, and which is normal for me. So I have to take precautionary steps, just so I don't get like pneumonia or bronchitis or stuff like that. Next, I'm going to blend out the edges using that natural color on a Wet n Wild, I think this is a crease brush. And I'm just kind of like buffing the edge a little bit. I'm just kind of softening it. I like to soften my edges after blending too, because I think it really helps a lot. And I think having that like first layer of eyeshadow really helps to blend it out as well. A lot of people aren't like me and they don't like to set their primer because they feel like things aren't as intense if you set it, that it kind of like makes it so things aren't as sticky and things aren't as pigmented. But honestly, I don't really have that problem, so I've always set mine, and I think I get like an easier blend doing that way. Whereas if I don't set it, it feels like everything's a little bit more patchy. Mind you, yes, things are pigmented, but I still have a lot of pigmentation if I set my primer. So, I don't know. I think it just comes down to personal preference. After blending, if you lost some of that intensity of PDA, just go back in and add a little bit more color. Next, with the same Paaarty palette, on a pencil brush, I'm going to take this shade called Cougar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to really lightly press this into the outer V. With this shade, less is more. It is extremely pigmented. I'm just going to kind of place it right in here and then kind of bring it up, kind of up to about right in here, just to make my blending a little bit easier. I'm just kind of really focusing that color on the outer V. Kind of like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be precise. I just kind of like to place my color where I want it, and then we'll just blend it out later. Makes it a little easier. Next, I'm going to go back in with that Sigma E35, and I did dip my brush back into PDA, and I'm just like lightly doing circle motions like right in here, and I'm just kind of bringing it in like this. Because I don't want a lot of black like right in here. I want it more in this outer section like right in here. Just to bring in more definition and to really make it really super smoky and all of that. If you lost a little bit of that intensity of the black, you can just go back in and add a little bit more. Next, in the outer kind of like third of my eye, I am going to take the NYX Jumbo Eye Shadow Pencil in Black Bean. It's just like a cream black. I really like it and it's super smooth. You don't need to be super precise, but you just want to keep it like on the lid. You don't want to bring it up to the crease because we're going to blend it out. Next, using a Sigma F70 brush. This is just a concealer brush. I'm just going to lightly kind of like buff this into the lid. And kind of bring it in a little bit and just honestly just kind of blend it out. So you want it to be the base for the next eyeshadow we're going to use. Next, we're going to go into Abracadabra from the Magic Wand collection from Beauty Bar Baby. This is a really cool pigment. I have never tried their products before, but this one super intrigued me. It has like all these like super cool shifts to it. I'd show you like in here, but I think the lid really brings it out and really shows it well. I'm just going to take a clean Eco Tools concealer brush and a little bit of setting spray and wetting my brush a little bit. Next, I'm going to apply this color kind of in this outer V kind of shape right in here. And really just packing it in. Definitely not showing how I wanted it to. I just switched my brush to the Sigma E55 brush, and I'm just really packing this color in. This is definitely giving it where I wanted it to be. I think it's just sometimes certain eyeshadows work better with different brushes. And since this is a loose pigment, that might be the case easily, that it needed a little bit more of a fluffy brush. Otherwise, this shade is really cool. This one is supposed to have like a black, purple, blue, and green shift to them. And I've never seen an eyeshadow have that much of a shift. So I was really intrigued and really impressed and wanted to try the brand. Before, I've seen their stuff and it's like, yeah, this is really cool, but I never really remembered to purchase things. But this shade really drew me into the brand, and I actually bought the whole collection because I was really intrigued with all these shades because they all have like these like super dimensional shifts to them. And usually shades, you know, have like one base color and then maybe like two shifting colors. Like sometimes they'll have like a purple and then they'll have like a baby blue and green sparkle to them, or like a shift to them. But this one's really cool. And her swatches were like amazing, so I was like, I need to try that. After I figured out how to use this Abracadabra shade, I am so impressed by it. It's not even funny. It is absolutely beautiful. And you know what, just if you're interested in purchasing it, how I would recommend using it is use like a cream base, because I really feel like that really makes the color very vibrant and it makes it stick, it makes it easier to work with. Kind of like that NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil. I think it really paired well with that, and I think it really made the color really pop. And I think sometimes like bases and stuff, they kind of make like loose eyeshadows kind of funny. This one paired perfectly with it. And also I would use a wet brush, kind of like this. This is the Sigma E55 brush. It's kind of like a flat brush, but it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like super flat like what I use for a cut crease, but it's kind of a little bit more on the fluffy side. And this really packed on the color very well, and being that it was wet, it really amped the color as well. I don't know, I just love how this color looks. And in person, it's really interesting because like you tilt your head in different ways and it has like a purple shift, a pink-ish kind of shift, like this bluish green. I don't know, I'm really impressed with it. And I can't wait to try the other ones out of the Magic Wand collection. Next, to marry everything back together, I'm going to take Cougar again from the Paaarty Smokey palette and really focus this color in the outer V. Just to make sure that we can blend Abracadabra back in with all these purples that we already previously put down. And I'm just using a BH Cosmetics pencil brush. This is out of the Rose Gold set. You just want to lightly do this because otherwise you could easily take away from Abracadabra since it's a loose pigment. Next, to blend out Cougar, I'm just going to go back in with that Sigma E35 and then just kind of start lightly buffing the edge. Man, I love this shade. This Abracadabra shade is so pretty. It is so interesting. Every time I look at myself in the mirror, it's like doing all this like shifty stuff. It is so cool. I wish my camera would pick up the shifts that it does. Let's see if we can get one. So here's where I am with the eye look, and off camera I'm just going to finish the rest of my face. Next, with a damp brush, I'm going to take Blue Ice right here out of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit. I'm just going to lightly start putting that in the inner corner. Using a Eco Tools, I think this is a smudger brush. I think this shade will really complement that greenish purple Abracadabra shade. On the same palette, I'm going to just take a little bit of Lucky Clover, the green shade. I'm just going to put that right on top. And when you blend in your inner corner highlight, what I do is I kind of like bring up my brush. Kind of blend the color in a little bit upwards as well. So here's the finished look. It is kind of a green and purple kind of smoky eye. More on the cool tone side, of course, and honestly, I'm living for it. I want to do more looks like this, and I really like this kind of like bluish inner corner I decided to do. It really kind of adds a little bit extra to the look, and I think it's really pretty. And honestly, this Abracadabra shade from Beauty Bar Baby, I'm obsessed with it right now. I think it is such a unique shade, and I cannot wait to try more of these that I purchased from them. From that, I think it's the Magic Wand, yeah, collection. And I don't know, I'm really liking this, and I'm really liking stepping out of my comfort zone and trying looks that I haven't done in a long time, or looks that I've really been wanting to do. So yeah, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and tell me below what is your absolute favorite indie brand or indie brand product. I would love to hear what you guys like and use because I love indie brands. A lot of the stuff is actually better than what you can get at the store. And I'm gonna just throw that out there because I 100% believe it. If you would like to follow me on other social media platforms, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten and my Twitter account is @lethalskittens. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.